Hey, this is Mike Bryan, MGB Inspection Services, and today we're going to talk a little bit about flashings. Now, flashings are normally used where two roof lines might, or a roof line might adjoin a house, like for instance at a front porch where it butts up against the house, or a lower roof line where it butts up against the sidewall, or the shingles run up against the chimney. And what flashing does is make sure that water can't get in between the joint between those two surfaces. So let's look at the way it's usually installed. And there's pretty much the old school way and the way the builders do it today, which pretty much I'm going to demonstrate that the old saying is correct. They don't build them like they used to. So let's look at the old school way of doing this. So here's some bricks, and these bricks are going to be a cross section through this wall. And these are the bricks in that wall, and then this line right here is that line right there. So you got a shingle coming down here like this. Now the way they normally installed flashing back in the old days, which was pretty brilliant, was they would take step flashing, which looks like this, and this edge here would slide up underneath the slate or the shingle, and so this dashed line will represent that portion of the flashing right there, and then this portion would be up against the wall. So again, in a real simple view, if this is that wall and this is the shingle right here, this flashing would be right here like that. And then you would have what's called counter flashing, a flashing that comes over top of this and overlaps it. Now in the old days, they would take this counter flashing and lay it right into the masonry. And so then you would have a system where when water ran down the wall, it would hit this counter flashing, go onto the counter flashing, drip off the bottom edge of the counter flashing right onto your step flashing, and continue on down the roof. So it was virtually impossible for moisture to get into the joint between the step flashing and counter flashing because of the way they're overlapped. And the beauty of this system is, number one, it was designed to last for the life of the structure without any sealant whatsoever. That's a beautiful thing. Also, the two surfaces could move independent of each other because there was no sealant. So this flashing can slide up or down, right or left, or even in and out, and because there is no sealant here, they slide against each other, but they're overlapped, and again, it allows for movement. So that's a beautiful thing too. So this was the Cadillac way to install flashing. You don't see it very much anymore. Nowadays, unfortunately, builders will simply nail right through the top of the counter flashing and then put a big old gob of sealant right here. And as a home inspector, I can tell you, having done this for 20 years, this sealant fails all the time. And so you find yourself having to go up and inspect this sealant, and if you don't, you're going to learn the hard way that when it fails, you're going to end up a stain inside the house that you could have avoided. But really, the more important thing is that if you go with this system, you don't have to worry about maintenance. This is a maintenance-free system, and it was brilliant. So when you're meeting with your builder, you can refer to this video, or you can just tell them, look, I want two-piece flashing that's laid right into the masonry. And if it costs more, that's fine, but the fact that it's maintenance-free makes it well worth the expense. So I hope this has been a helpful video, and I hope you understand a little bit more about two-piece flashing and can possibly educate your builder on the best system for flashing ever designed.